Stand by. The program will begin soon. I don't know why I'm talking about this. During World War II, we sent 90 million pounds of spam just to the Russians alone. I mean, we sent it all over the world. Our troops, especially in the Pacific Theater, ate it. That was basically what they ate all the time. 90 million pounds to the Russians. Apparently in like the 50s, Nikita Khrushchev said, you know, if they hadn't sent us all this spam, they might not have been able to feed their troops during World War II. So a little weird canned kind of ham pork product, canned meat, may have won World War II. And the Fed is trending on X. And I wasn't sure why, and I'm still not 100% sure why, although part of it is because of this building that they're renovating. They're supposed to be renovating at one of the buildings at the Fed, right? And the other day, Donald Trump came out there with Jerome Powell, and they're talking about how the renovation of the building was kind of a little bit over budget, okay? First of all, the numbers on this are crazy. They wanted $2.something billion to renovate a building at the Fed. $2.1 billion. Well, this is $2.5 billion. But they're over budget by over $1 billion for one building. They're over budget over $1 billion for one building. $1 billion friggin' dollars for one building. This isn't even for building a new building. It's for renovating a building. What the actual F are they doing? If after a night of filling your rectum with vodka from a turkey baster, the cops find you changing a flat in the cereal aisle of a Piggly Wiggly and ask how much you've had to drink, and you say nothing, are you lying? Well, no. Now, if they had been asking, have you been injecting? You'd have to say yes, but they said, have you been drinking? Well, no, absolutely. Yeah, Lord Stanhope, absolutely not. In fact, you all can try to answer these questions. Stand by. The program will begin soon. A WNBA game got stopped in the middle of the game because one of the players lost their wig while they're playing, and they had to run off. And then some fan made fun of the player, and they had to run. And they kicked the fan out for making fun of a player losing the weave. Not a weave, it was a wig. Losing their wig. They had to have a timeout for the wig, a wig emergency. Which I'm like, why the F are you wearing a wig while you're playing basketball? But then yesterday, I believe it was yesterday, a game had to be stopped briefly because someone threw a big old green dildo on the floor. Someone threw a dildo out on the floor, out of the court. They had to stop the game. I don't know if they caught the person who sent the dildo, but the green dildo was on the court, and a good large number of the players had no idea what to do with something of that shape, but that's okay. It happened, and then someone made this t-shirt or this meme, pay us what you owe us, which has a dildo on it. So that was fun. Hey, you know what the really good interrupt violence through community-based bystander training? Yeah, if the bystanders beat the fuck out of someone who's attacking somebody else, that would be great bystander training. They could send them to the MMA gym, you know, put them in an arm bar, smack them in the face a few times. Stop doing that bullshit. That would be the best community-based bystander training, but I don't think that's what he means. Anyway. And then the other one, they'll go back all the way to Dylan Roof. Dylan Roof's the other one, which, does anyone, okay, let me ask you something. A lot of you are right-leaning on the right. Is there anybody in this that you, anyone you know of? Is there anyone that you know of on the right who supports or supported Dylan Roof? Because I know everyone I can think of who's like, Dylan Roof, fuck that guy. He went out and murdered people in a church. Fuck that guy. But the left is like, oh, he was a right-wing extremist. Nah, he's a fucking asshole. Fuck that guy. Yeah, fuck Dylan Roof. Nobody gives a shit about Dylan Roof. Nobody claims him. Nobody wants him. He's an asshole. Okay? He's a little punk bitch asshole who killed a bunch of people in the church. Stand by. The program will begin soon. Reverend Robin Bartlett of First Church of Sterling, Massachusetts, uses John 1:14 of the Bible to justify why she brings her 11-year-old son to drag shows. This is what we're getting in the Rainbow Church. The Rainbow Church aren't exactly hiding. That's true. The Word became flesh and lived among us, and my body, your body, their bodies are home for the living God. That is why I take my 11-year-old boy to drag shows in the summer with my friend and fellow church leaders, Kate, and her 11-year-old boy. Especially if you're a man, bodies can be celebrated and played with. That's her message. What the fuck? California wants to let someone that is not related to your child remove her from school, him or her, enroll her in any other school in the state, authorize any medical treatment, including mental health services and drugs, without the parent's notice and knowledge or consent. Can you see where that might be a problem? This is not fear-mongering. I'm not being hyperbolic, she warned. These are unintended consequences, and it is terrifying. They are unconscionable or unavoidable. So that's one really bad California law that they're coming with. I can't believe. I'm just dumbfounded that they're doing it. Now this is interesting. That new mayor candidate, the leading Democratic mayor candidate for New York City mayor, Damme, wants cops to stop responding to attacks on Jews. And by the way, Jews in the New York City are victims of the majority of hate crimes. Not a plurality, but the majority of hate crimes against people in New York are against Jewish people. And you know, especially religious hate crimes. Anyway, 345 hate crimes in New York City last year, more than all other minority groups combined, according to the New York Police Department data. Anti-Jewish crimes accounted for 54% of the 641 total hate crimes reported to police in the city in 2024. Since the beginning of the year, 60% of the 123 recorded hate crimes have targeted Jews, according to the New York Police Department. Well, Zohran Mamdani, the radical Islamist and leftist terrorist supporter, has proposed that New York Police Department not respond to hate crimes, instead that they be handled by social workers. This shifts resources away from responding to attacks on Jews and moves away from having law enforcement deal with those attacks, and instead has his political leftist allies deal with them by burying them. Right? Show. If I put something on the screen or I'm talking about it, or it's a topic or an article that I'm presenting in this show, I provide links to every single thing that I've talked about, and even more, the ones I didn't even get to, I drop them in the chat at the end of the show, and also I drop them in the description. So if you want to find these articles, they will be in the links at the end of the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, the one and only Dawg Knight.
Yes. Happy Thursday on the Morning Night Live. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as Dawg Knight on the internet. And welcome back to the Dawg Knight Channel on this Thursday, the 2nd of October, 2025. Good morning. Hope you're having a great day. I am having a lovely morning. And so here we go. Let's do this thing. No, I'm not going to even do any fluff right now. Let's just say hi to everybody and get it going, because I want to talk about the coverage of the dreaded government shutdown. Now, I know some of you are concerned. There's people here who work for the government. There's people here who, may have reasons that you're really concerned about the shutdown. I'm one of the people who hasn't had anything change in my life yet, but we do want the people who work in our government to be paid. We want the people getting checks for whatever reason they are to get them. And unfortunately, apparently 140,000 government workers quit or left or whatever yesterday. There was a planned mass quit, but that was because that was planned in advance. But anyway, that's a whole nother thing. Let's say hi to get it going, because I want to get into this, because I want to show you. I want to look at the coverage of the shutdown, which is as interesting as the shutdown itself, because there's a couple of surprising things I noticed this morning and a couple things that are completely expected, looking at the different places that cover this kind of stuff. But there's a whole bunch of little tiny other things in there in between, so let's get it going. First in the chat today, of course, Mr. Avocados Diablo is back on track. Congratulations, sir. You are number one, as opposed to number one being number one. Also, good morning, Sam Numble Nation. Good morning, Ms. Wild Wolf. Hoko Sports is here. Renee Mayette is here. Mike Savage, Blarg. Also, good morning, Midnight, and Resolute Germs in the house, and Aaron Meredith. Good morning, Blue Eyed Scream here bright and early. Also, we got the Pope is here with the message of hope. Yes. It's Pope Tyrannius the Third, the Blessed Lich, who says, "Blessings of the Holy Ghost be upon you all. Do you know to walk? First you crawled, then on shaky legs you stood. With help you took your first steps. That's how growth and change are, my crawling babes." Thank you, Pope Tyrus. Pope Tyrannius. Something like that. Also, good morning, AWOL. Welcome back. Oh, AWOL, you kind of changed from a fall caps AWOL to a partial caps AWOL. Good morning. Also, let's see. Lord Stanhope, what's up? And TC's in the house. Good morning. Johnny Boomer Tech on the board. Anyone else? Midnight in Exile. What up, my friend? Good morning also to Tyler F's in the house. And Patty O Furniture. Nice to have you back. All right, let's get into just the little things that we do in the beginning. Oh, wait, I messed this up. I got these out of order. That should not be there. They should be over here. Celebrity birthdays always come last. All right, first, it's the holiday. Today is World Farm Animal Day. Come on, it's World Farm Animal Day. Okay, that's better. Anyway, it's World Farm Animal Day. This is weird. Oh, but then someone has World Vegetarian Day. No. The reason we have farm animals is because meat is tasty. Anyway, but some people think farm animals are pets, so I don't know why they have World Farm Animal Day. But the other here. Wait a minute. Why is World Vegetarian Day showing up here? Humane World for Animals in Europe. Wait, what? It's supposed to be World Farm Animal Day. Why did this pop up? Okay. Our kids' farm residents are goat ally awesome. Meet our animals and the dedicated keepers, veterinarians, and nutritionists that care for them at World Farm Animal Day. Because this one has it right. Join us at this free event tomorrow, October 2nd. This is some zoo at the National Zoo. They're gonna have a farm animal display. By the way, in some parts of the world, the farm animals were nervous today because it has a whole different meaning. But anyway, but then they're messing it up by throwing in World Vegetarian Day, and no, hell no. I'm sorry. But here, let's see. Sadly, billions of farm animals suffer every day behind closed doors on factory farms, but it doesn't have to be this way. Together, we can create a world where animals are treated with compassion, not cruelty, so we can eat them. So I sound pretty callous, but anyway, happy World Farm Animal Day. Other holidays today include, again, World Farm Animal Day right there. Bring your Bible to school today. School day. Well, I don't go to school anymore, and I don't know. International Day of Nonviolence. That's a good one. Join the celebration of International Day of Nonviolence and promote peace, justice, and harmony. Oh, Michelle Day. If your name's Michelle, congratulations today. And also National Name Your Car Day. I'm thinking of naming my car Michelle. National Custodian Day. Hey, if you have a kiddo or whatever, or a relative that's in school, tell them to thank the custodians, the janitors, whatever they call them at your schools, because those guys are like the unsung hero of our school systems. It's Ancestors Day. Think about your ancestors. Go visit, the cemetery or something, or just say a prayer. National Fried Scallops Day. Ooh, love me some scallops. And Rosh Hashanah. Wait, is it Rosh Hashanah? That is it. I thought it was. Wait a minute. I thought it was Yom Kippur. Check my calendar here. It's not Rosh Hashanah. Who put that on the calendar? It's yesterday was Yom Kippur. Okay. Oh, it's my nephew's birthday. I gotta call my nephew today. I almost forgot. So anyway, that's the holiday calendar. Nothing earth-shattering other than that National Fried Scallops Day. All right. Some celebrity news. The world is mourning today over the passing of Miss Jane Goodall. Jane Goodall has passed away at age 91. She's on the trending topics today. Now, this is not James Goodall. This guy always puts a funny picture of someone who's not really the person who died or has a birthday, and so he put rest in peace Jane Goodall. That's not Jane Goodall. This is Jane Goodall. She rescued chimpanzees. Thank Jane Goodall by giving her a hug. The lady who went and lived with the chimps for a while, and became famous as a ecologist and animal something, whatever. Jane Goodall, the pioneering primatologist whose groundbreaking research on chimpanzees reshaped humanity's understanding of the natural world, died at age 91. The Jane Goodall Institute has learned this morning, Wednesday, October 1st, 2025, that Dr. Jane Goodall, UN Messenger of Peace and founder of the Jane Goodall Institute, has passed away due to natural causes. The Institute wrote on Instagram, Dr. Goodall's discovery as an ethologist revolutionized science, and she was a tireless advocate for the protection and restoration of our natural world. She was in California as part of her speaking tour in the United States, a statement continued. So that's the statement by the Jane Goodall Foundation. But yeah, famous for her work in out in the field with chimpanzees and other primates, and she'll be missed. You know what? I don't know anything about her. Maybe this is a good thing. I don't know anything about her politics or whatever. I just know that she's well known and well respected around the world, and so she'll be missed. The celebrity birthday today would be celebrity birthday today. However, the featured celebrity birthday. There's several, but I'm picking this one. Don McLean. Don McLean is 80 years old today. And if you don't know who Don McLean is, well, my gosh, maybe is he a one-hit wonder? If he is a one-hit wonder, maybe the most famous one-hit wonder ever, at least in my book, because I remember singing along to this song when I was a kid. Bye, bye, Miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. And good old boys were drinking whiskey and rye, singing, "This'll be the day that I die. This'll be the day that I die." Does anyone know any other song by Don McLean? He also wrote Vincent. That did well. Did it? I'm not familiar. Vincent, I have to think about that one. I probably know it if I heard it. Good morning, Rick Ashburger, by the way. And nice to have you here. So anyway, Don McLean is still alive. I know. I said it's his 80th birthday. He's 80 years old today. Don McLean, American musician, VOD, songwriter, and guitarist, best known for writing and charting the Billboard Hot 100 #1 hit single American Pie. Don also wrote, oh, I see. He also wrote and charted the U.S. top 40 hits Vincent and Castles in the Air. Okay, I'd have to go back and I probably know the song. I just don't know the name of the song. So there you go. Happy birthday, Don McLean. All right, moving on. Oh, by the way, why is this article here? Oh, this is here's some news things. Oh, this is a I don't do a lot of sports stories, but this is pretty wild if you ask me. Padres, this is a baseball story. Padres, the San Diego Padres, Mason Miller makes MLB postseason history in stellar Game 2 outing versus the Cubs. This dude, Mason Miller, threw a 104.5 mile per hour fastball in this game, and actually threw 204 mile an hour pitches in the game. This is crazy. And I just, if you're not a baseball fan, you can look away, but you got to see this. This is insane. Watch this shit. I mean, I don't even know how you can see it. Here it is. Mason Miller at the plate. I'll probably get one of those things, but this is newsy. I don't care.
About as fast as a human being has ever thrown a baseball.
So, and look, it's not just the velocity. I mean, 104 is big, but look at the placement of it.
104.
I mean, you couldn't walk up.
That's nasty. And he got it right at the bottom corner, too.
There, it's look at this. Any better than that. 104.
I mean,
having more slider action.
Ooh. 104. That's insane. That's insane. I'm not the hugest baseball fan, but when something impressive happens, I'm all for it. I love baseball highlights. It's hard for me to watch a game, but damn. So anyway, someone says the Cubs offense looks more confused than a room full of generals being told by Fox News hosts that they should resign if they don't agree with it. Oh, fuck off. Someone in the comments here. Yeah, Fox News host who has 20 years in the military and Harvard and Princeton degrees. Anyway, 104.5 mile an hour fastball. Major League playoff baseball history made. I don't know if it's the fastest pitch ever, but it's pretty damn close. Canceled Netflix is still trending, and I talked about it briefly yesterday because we said Elon Musk is kind of spearheading this. Apparently, there have been a lot of Netflix cancellations. Now, I'm kind of one of those people, not big on the boycott thing. And we have Netflix, and I like watching movies, and I don't watch kids movies. I don't have kids in my house, but I'm one of those people, you know what? Yeah, these people are nuts who are putting out this children's programming that's pushing gender ideology. But however, you can be parents and turn that shit off or not even play it for them. So, I don't understand why people don't just shut it off. But anyway, the story here here's the American Thinker story. Netflix is very invested in exposing children to cheerful transgenderism. It started when Libs of TikTok revealed that Netflix has a show that encourages the non-binary aspect of so-called transgenderism as a way for children to free themselves from societal expectations. After Elon Musk picked up on that tweet, the ball really got rolling. The Libs of TikTok revealing myriad Netflix shows directly targeted at children. Now, I don't do any of the children's programming on Netflix, but anyway. Anyway, the ball really got rolling when Libs of TikTok revealing myriad Netflix shows directly targeted children, and all of which pushed the LGBT, especially Q+ agenda. Netflix is one of the granddaddies of home entertainment. In 1997, it was the first company to mail movie DVDs directly to people's homes. Then 18 years ago, once streaming became a thing, Netflix quickly moved over to that market. It's now a nationwide purveyor of video entertainment, except in China. China is asshole. I'm going to use that one for a while. Crimea, North Korea, Russia, and Syria, where they don't play that shit. And as of this past January, had over 301 million customers. Holy balls. Think they're making any money over there at Netflix? Just on subscriptions, 301 million. Take that. What is it? The Netflix subscription these days? It was 17. I know it's more than that now. I have one of those ones where you can use a couple different households. It's like $28 a month. But take that 301 million times, say, $17 every month. Holy shit. It's a big cultural player. Speaking of culture, its current executive chairman, Reed Hastings, who is currently worth an estimated $6.6 billion with a B dollars, and is one of the Democratic Party's big boosters, which is ironic considering that his father was an attorney in the Nixon administration. Back in 2021, when Netflix employees got their knickers in a twist after Dave Chappelle made jokes that transgender people found offensive, Reed Hastings refused to comment on the issue. However, Netflix let the world know that it had the employees' backs. No pun intended. Quote, "We value our trans colleagues and allies and understand the deep hurt that has been caused," a Netflix spokesperson said in a statement to Fox Business. "We respect the decision of any employee who chooses to walk out and recognize we have as much more work to do with both within Netflix and in our content." Well, in other words, they said, well, if you want to quit, bitch. No, that's not what they said. Anyway, now Hastings while he was silent in 2021, he has let it be known that Netflix is a happy place for transgender employees. Aww. Thus, when asked in 2024 about the Chappelle kerfluffle, he offered this insight into Netflix hiring policies. And I quote, "We had made a real point of recruiting trans employees and being trans friendly. This is like 2015 to 2019, roughly. We were proud of it, and we had amazing employees, and they felt as a whole that we had promised Shangri-La, and now we were betraying them. So there was an intense sense of betrayal amongst this group of employees and their allies." Okay. So anyway, that pro-trans ethos may explain Netflix programming decisions for children. The revelation started with this tweet. This is the one we saw yesterday. Elon Musk saw the tweet, rebroadcast, and announced that he was canceling his Netflix subscription. Things snowballed from there. Libs of TikTok continued to unearth programming at Netflix that targets children and promotes so-called transgenderism. Some, like the Cocomelon Show, have been around for years. Others, like Ada Twist, scientists, come from the fertile Obama factory. Yeah, they're producing a lot of this crap. So here, Ada Twist Scientist, a show for 7-year-olds on Netflix, showcases young students coming together to set up and celebrate their teacher's gay wedding. Oh, and Barack and Michelle Obama are the show's executive producers. And then on Cocomelon, they had apparently two gay dads couple. Again, it's everywhere. Look, you can't. When was the last time you turned on a show that at some point didn't have some gay interactions? Not explicitly, but you know what I mean? And there's a scene from a movie on Netflix called Strawberry Shortcake and the Beast of Berry Bog. Promotes boy cross-dressing as girls to express themselves. This show is recommended for children of all ages. Transformers Earthspark, a show for children on Netflix, also promotes the idea of made-up pronouns like they, them, or, alternative pronouns. And then, Transformers Earthspark, a kids show on Netflix, is pushing woke gender identity propaganda on 7-year-olds. So she's been out there finding all the shows. And so now Netflix, the boycott, they may have lost 100,000 subscribers out of the 301 million, which I don't know if that's a big dent to them, but maybe some people are noticing. So who knows? Anyway, so that's why that's there. Also, canceled is trending on X because a lot of people are posting their cancellation confirmation. It's, that's a tough company to hurt. That does not look like the strawberry shortcake. Where is her bonnet? Yeah, it's a modern version. Hello, Selecta Boy.
Yeah, boy.
And Rick Ashbringer and Anna Lynn are in the house. Nice to have you here. So anyway, canceled Netflix. Those are all trending. Next, this is just what I saw that was interesting to me. Someone named Joel Salatin. This may be related to World Farm Animal Day. But this guy named Joel Salatin, a regenerative farmer at Polyface Farms of Virginia, is proposing the Food Emancipation Proclamation to exempt direct private food sales from federal oversight, aiming to reduce regulatory burdens on small-scale operations. So a lot of small farms like to be able to sell direct to consumers, and there's a lot of regulations when it comes to that. And so in fact, I'm curious how this affects like farmers markets. We have huge farmers markets here in Minneapolis and in St. Paul. But anyway, he says his farm employs, his farms employs multi-species grazing to produce poultry with 80 to 90% fewer pathogens than factory farm birds, as shown by independent lab tests aligned with USDA standards. The initiative aligns with the Trump administration's 2025 food freedom efforts, including support from Representative Thomas Massey and HHS Secretary Robert Kennedy Jr., amid declining U.S. farm numbers and rising corporate land ownership. Yeah, because a lot of the family farms are getting their asses kicked. Now, granted, some of it is, I gotta be honest, some of it is due to the tariffs too. It's hurting some farms, but they want to be able to sell more direct, and there's a lot of regulations. They want to reduce the burden of that. Here's a quick video of what he has been talking about, and a lot of people are posting this video on X, the app formerly known as Twitter.
There's no flies, there's no smell. These are unvaccinated, unmedicated, no pharmaceuticals, none of that.
In this episode, I sit down with farmer Joel Salatin. He and his family own Polyface Farms, and he's the author of 17 books, including Everything I Want to Do is Illegal, War Stories from the Local Food Front.
You can't have a porta potty, so now you're at $50,000 to put in a certified septic system in order to have a kitchen that passes compliance.
Salatin believes that what America desperately needs is a Food Emancipation Proclamation,
which basically says you and I can engage in a food transaction without the government's permission. In my lifetime, I have watched this erosion of farmer access to retail dollars. Meanwhile, we're seeing farmers go out of business hand over fist. The average farmer is now 60 years old. So in the next 15 years, half of all America's agriculture equity is going to change hands. The question is it all going to go to Vanguard, BlackRock, Bill Gates, the Chinese?
This is American Thought Leaders.
So anyway, you get the point there. Apparently there's a whole program on it. And I'm sure it's somewhere in these links. I just didn't find it, but it's a fascinating topic. And the reason it's fascinating to me in particular, because I have my friend Farmer Ken, who I met when I was out doing dad jokes, and we stopped him on his farm, and he offered to sell me half a beef, half a cow. So very interesting. Bob J. Boblin's in the house. What up? FTG Farms Inc. CEO says, I agree. Yes, thank you. Nice to have you pop in, Bob. It's been a while. Okay, someone keeps telling me the name of that band. Is it Stream? What's the name of that band? Anyway, don't tell me again. I don't need to know for sure. All right, let's move on, because I wanted to get into the main topic a little bit quicker today. And but before I do that, Project 2025 was trending this morning. And Stain. Is that it? Stained. That's the name of it. Okay. Project 2025 was trending this morning, and this time it's Donald Trump's fault. Now, I keep seeing people talking about on X and the liberals bitching about, 45% of Project 2025 has already been implemented. Isn't that whatever? I don't know, because it wasn't his platform. But this morning, or yesterday, was it yesterday? Yesterday, Donald Trump posted on Truth Social, his own platform, this little ditty. He said, I have a meeting today with Russ Vought, he of Project 2025 fame, to determine which of the many Democratic agencies, most of which are a political scam, he recommends be cut and whether or not those cuts will be temporary or permanent. I can't believe the radical left Democrats gave me this unprecedented opportunity. They are not stupid people, so maybe this is their way of wanting to quietly and quickly make America great again. President Donald John Trump. Now, this is in reference to the fact, one, that this government shutdown, for whatever reason, there's some loop or something that makes it gives Donald Trump the ability to fire a lot more federal employees. Although there were already a bunch, apparently there was like 100,000 that had already planned on leaving, either through the buyouts or whatever. But all the Democrats are posting this because they're saying, oh my God, he said he didn't know about Project 2025. And he did say that. And so I'm curious what prompted him to post this. And look, it's funny though, because this is a typical post. We'll take Ron Filipkowski, okay? Trump during the campaign, I never heard of Project 2025. Don't know anything about it. I don't know who was involved. And then Trump today posts this thing that he met with Russ Vought, right? Or Russ Vought. Well, here's the thing. Troll of the century. Yeah, it is pretty funny. It's probably a troll. But it's also, if he said during the campaign he didn't know about Project 2025, there were sure enough people trying to tell him what it was. So how would he not know after the campaign? But anyway, good morning, Banks. What's up, Banks? Trump's biggest flaw is he truly enjoys making people sad. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, they're just all over this. Breaking, and in the same moment, Ted Cruz admits out loud that Trump is going to use the shutdown to get rid of left-wing bureaucrats right out of Project 2025, adding, I think that's fantastic. Now, he didn't say it was, no, that's funny. So let's see what Cruz actually said. I bet Ted Cruz did not even mention Project 2025 in this interview. Let's listen. Maybe he did. We'll find out because we're going to play it.
Chuck Schumer and the Democrats force a shutdown, which they now have, that President Trump is going to use that as an opportunity not to tell people you're furloughed for a few days, but instead to send pink slips and to get rid of left-wing bureaucrats who are imposing left-wing priorities that are contrary to President Trump's priorities. I think that is fantastic, and what it's going to do is it's going to cause Democrats in Congress to scream and weep and gnash their teeth. I cannot wait for the next Democrat lunch when they start screaming at each other, when they start seeing pink slips go out at the EPA, at the Department of Labor, at the IRS, and suddenly the bureaucrats that they are entrusting to advance their job-killing agenda are themselves without a job. Okay. That's what's going to end this shutdown, is the Democrats are realizing that President Trump is making major advances for economic liberty as a result of the Democrats' temper tantrum.
There you go. Good morning, Gun Fox. What's up? I see you, brother. Is Trump going to use the opportunity to get rid of some people? Well, let's talk about the shutdown, okay? And obviously the name of the show today is the Schumer shutdown, because really this shutdown is almost 100% on Chuck Schumer, okay? And anyone who says otherwise is full of shit. Hello, Selector Boy. Did I say hello to Selector Boy? I think I did. I did. I hit that button. So the reason the government is shut down right now is because Senate Democrats decided that they were going to vote against this continuing resolution, which was going to just fund the government in the same manner it is right now. Now, remember, they did this in March, too. They were going to fund the federal government at current levels, which was still Biden budgeting, right? And Chuck Schumer in the end said, okay, well, no, I'm going to finally vote for it because to keep the government running. Almost an identical continuing resolution. This was not a bill where they added anything. They didn't add anything to it. All they said is make it a continuing resolution to fund the government at current levels till we get these 12 appropriations bills done. And this time Chuck Schumer said no. And a bunch of Democrats said no. So because in the Senate, this is one of those things that they can use a filibuster against. And so if they filibuster this bill, then the government shuts down. It is Chuck Schumer shutdown. No matter what reason they gave, no matter what reason they're arguing about the Republicans for, it's 100% on the Senate Democrats. Okay? And they're trying to say, oh, Donald Trump can't govern. He has the House, he has the Senate, he has everything. Doesn't matter. The Senate rules. The Democrats are the ones who thwarted this. So, lots of gnashing of teeth about it, right? So, on to the Chuck Schumer thing. Now, the media is trying their best to complain about what they're saying, because the Republicans are saying, well, this is because they're shutting down because they wanted to be able to use government funds for health care for illegal aliens, which every Democrat candidate for president the last couple cycles have said they would do. And so they're really hung up on, the meme AI videos, not deep fakes, because nobody thinks they're real, but the meme AI videos, putting Democrat congresspeople and senators in sombreros and mustaches. So this reporter here was asking J.D. Vance, is it helpful to post pictures of Hakeem Jeffries, Dollar Store Obama, and Chuck Schumer? I wish they'd stop calling him Dollar Store Obama. He's nothing like Obama. In fact, that's why I call him Turnip, because he has the charisma of a turnip. But anyway, here's J.D. Vance laughing about it to their face.
So the president's been posting some images of Leader Jeffries and Senator Schumer.
I saw
recently. You've said that you're interested in good faith negotiations with these leaders, but what message does that send? Is it helpful to post pictures of Leader Jeffries in a sombrero if you're trying to have good faith talks with him?
Oh, I think it's funny. The president's joking, and we're having a good time. You can negotiate in good faith while also poking a little bit of fun at some of the absurdities of the Democrats' positions, and even, poking some fun at the absurdity of the Democrats themselves. I mean, I'll tell Hakeem Jeffries right now, I make this solemn promise to you that if you help us reopen the government, the sombrero memes will stop. And I've talked to the President of the United States about that.
Even the reporters laughed at that. Now that's amazing, because this is in the press briefing room. The press briefing room, they laughed at. They thought that was funny. I'm shocked. So anyway, I wanted to look at some of the coverage, but first let's do this, because the photo I used in the in the thumbnail does capture the shutdown in a very perfect way. And this is obviously, PJ Media is more of the right of the aisle when it comes to media bias. The Schumer shutdown is turning out to be one of the more spectacular unforced political errors of recent memory. And a single screenshot from MSNBC may end up defining the whole fiasco. The Democrats' shutdown is hitting exactly the people they claim to champion: hungry kids, seniors, low-income Americans. Now, this is only day 2. And there's multiple outlets talking about, oh, this is already affecting people. How can it be affecting people on day 2? But let me finish this. But Democrats apparently making life miserable for vulnerable Americans by refusing to compromise on health care for illegal immigrants is the hill they've chosen to die on. Now, they would dispute that, saying this has nothing to do with health care for illegal immigrants. Until you watch that Maxine Waters clip. But anyway, by blocking a clean continuing resolution, Democrats own this shutdown, because it is a clean continuing. Republicans on this continuing resolution, a lot of times when they do these CRs, some of the people will try to add little things that they want to add. They want to do this. We got to do money for that, whatever. No, this is strictly the Republican bill, at least, strictly continue current funding as we negotiate the 12 appropriations bill. Now, Democrats are mad because they wanted to put a whole bunch of stipulations on the continuing resolution, like repealing some of the things from the big, beautiful bill, some Obamacare subsidies that were added during COVID that the Republicans like, no, those are going to expire. And so this is 100% the Democrats' shutdown. But the image that they're talking about here is this one. This is the image that while Chuck was on MSNBC, this image is what you were looking at. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer on government shutdown with his thumbs up. And it's his shutdown. So that's unfortunate for him. Thank you, Avocado Stallion, putting a small bill in the tip jar. You are the new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. Wait, what is that up there? How'd that happen? Well, it is you. It's not TC. I've never reset from yesterday. Sorry about that. You are the Streamlabs Superstar sponsor today so far. Here, I fix that. There. Now it's still up there. Anyway, 80 says Democrats really shot themselves in the foot blaming the shutdown on Republicans. It just makes me want to vote for Republicans more now. Yeah, they can't blame the Republicans. They know they can't. Well, the media even knows they can't blame it on the Republicans. It's all on Democrats. Thank you, Gun Fox. Just going to hijack the show here briefly, and thank you for putting the Hamilton in the tip jar, which makes me you.
You are the new
Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. We'll get to that shortly. All right, so but what I really wanted to do is I wanted to look at how various news outlets are reporting this. Basically, mostly headlines, but there are a couple articles I do want to get to. So here's the AP. Is this the AP homepage? Where is it? Oh, no, I just pulled it. These are two AP articles. But this is the type of headlines that we're seeing. First of all, this is government shutdown takes hold with mass layoffs looming and no end in sight. Now, apparently there's already going to be about 140,000 government employees laid off. Wednesday, with no easy endgame in sight, Democrats held firm on their demands to salvage healthcare subsidies. Again, these healthcare subsidies they added that President Donald Trump and Republicans in Congress have dismissed as something possible to possibly discuss later. The White House threatened mass layoffs of federal workers rather than simply normal furloughs in a matter of days, seizing the chance to slash government. Blame was being cast on all sides. No new talks were scheduled after the president failed this week to secure a deal with congressional leaders. Wait a minute. Who failed that negotiation? Who failed it more? The Democrats or the Republicans? The Democrats. Do you think Trump gives a shit if the government stays open? Someone think J.D. Vance says, let's be honest, if this thing drags onward, Vice President J.D. Vance, during a visit to the White House briefing room, we're going to have to lay people off. Roughly 750,000 federal workers were expected to be furloughed and some fired by Trump's Republican administration. Many offices will be shuttered, perhaps permanently, as the president promises to zero in on programs Democrats like. Trump's deportation agenda is likely to run full speed ahead, while education, environmental, and other services sputter. The economic fallout could ripple across the nation. So that's the headline from the AP. Now they have another headline here, and they talk about Jeffrey, they talk about Schumer, plenty of blame, but no exit strategy. And one interesting first line in this is the Democrats picked the fight, which was unusual for the party that prefers to keep the government running, but their voters are eager to challenge the president's second-term agenda. Well, guess what? You just shut down the government, Democrats. Now, the other headline from the AP that I wanted to show you, though, probably is not one the Democrats want to see as a headline. Democrats voted for a shutdown. Now they have to find their way out. Wow. Hello, Rock Out. What's up? And the lead on this is Senate Democrats kept their promise to reject any Republican spending bill that did not extend or restore health care benefits, choosing instead to force a government shutdown. Who shut it down? Democrats did. The AP says, though. The AP is usually not Democrat friendly. Now they have to figure out how to get out of it. Just hours after the shutdown began, Senate Democrat leader Chuck the smarmy prick from New York, Schumer, said that if the Republicans work with them, the shutdown could go away very quickly. Why? Why should they, Chuck? When did you ever work with them when it was the other way around? I remember during the Obama administration when there was a shutdown. Did you work with them then? How about back during the Clinton administration? And I can't remember if Chuck was around then. I think he was. So, yeah, get bent. But that won't be easy. Republican leaders, Senate Majority John Thune, House Speaker Mike Johnson, and President Donald Trump have said that they won't negotiate or be held hostage by Democrats demanding concessions to reopen the government. The bill Democrats voted against was a simple extension of funding for 45 days. Legislation they say should be non-controversial. No ads, no subtractions, just fund the government for 45 days. Clean extension bill. Clean continuing resolution bill. Hello, Darren Root. While that uncompromising Republican position may not last long, well, we'll see. There are some early informal talks on the Senate floor Wednesday. Reaching a deal would be difficult. It's deeply uncertain for now if the two sides could find common ground on healthcare policy or so enough trust for the Democrats to change their position. Well, all you democracy lovers, remember that the American people chose the other party. So your idea of democracy, well, you're just holding it up. You're just filibustering and cause the government shut down. But again, the headline that surely they do not like is Democrats voted for a shutdown. Ouch, babe. Ouch, ouch, ouch.
Your life makes me sad.
Thank you, Avocados Diabli. Another small bulletin tip jar says, you mean if the Democrats had owned, if Democrats had owned being the cause of the shutdown, being all for shutting it down, I might have had to give them a bit of respect, and they missed a chance to get my vote by doing so. Yeah, they're just lying about it. That's the bad thing. They're lying that they caused the shutdown. They're calling it a Republican shutdown. It was a continuing resolution just to keep the government running for another 45 days while you're negotiating all the other shit. The Democrats are like, nope, we're not going to vote on it because you're not doing what we want you to do. Fuck off. Because in the budget bills, they don't have to do what you want to do. Simple majority. So anyway, New York Times, U.S. shutdown that could lead to mass layoffs and service cuts. So the fright factor. Now this is another image that Chuck Schumer is probably going to be having for a long time. Government shutdown has begun and mass layoffs and service cuts may follow. Senator Chuck Schumer, the minority leader, spoke with reporters hours before the shutdown. Wow, they used an interesting image for that too, hanging his head in shame probably. So, and then I went to CNN too to look at what the headlines around CNN, Fox, and MSNBC are. Now, this is interesting because CNN doesn't seem to be totally immersed in the shutdown, although their main part of the page here is neither party is blinking, but pressure is rising over shutdown. Let's see what the name of that article changed, because I noticed another one that did. So here's this change. Let's see. The government shutdown is a slow boil political crisis. It's the same. Okay, it's the same article that I had already put up here. But the subheadline here is. I didn't mean to do that. The subheadline, as soon as I get it back on the page, there we go. The subheadline down here, Democrats might have catastrophically overestimated their leverage. That's not a good sign for Democrats either, especially on CNN. But if the shutdown drags on, Trump and the GOP could suffer. How? How would they suffer if the Democrats don't allow the government to keep running? It's squarely on the Democrats. So then I went to, here's how when you click on either of those links, you go to the same article. The government shutdown is a slow boil political crisis. It's too early to blink, but the pressure is slowly beginning to rise. Why? It's day 2. The government shutdown drama is still in its opening act, with Democrats and Republicans each heaping blame on the other side. And despite deepening partisan bitterness in Washington, nothing has changed the equation that led to the impasse. Republicans and Democrats both saw a greater political advantage in letting the government close than to keep it open. But who voted for the shutdown? Democrats did. Because the Republicans, again, in this continuing resolution, they didn't ask for anything new. They asked for a simple continuation of the current spending until they negotiated the different 12 appropriations bills. So they didn't ask for anything different. It's the Democrats who are demanding multiple things in order to vote for this. And that's just not how the game's going to be played this time. But they continue, but the earliest signs were evident Wednesday of the political strains that will eventually crack the unity of one or both parties, whether it takes days or weeks to end the standoff. Day 1 saw the rollout of initial battleground strategies. The White House adopted a ruthless position. Again, this is CNN, so they're always going to... Listen, the language they use for the Republicans is going to be very different than the language they use for the Democrats. And we'll get an example of that here. So here... White House adopted a ruthless position. Oh, you're saying the Democrats aren't ruthless? Threatening mass firings of federal workers and halting billions of dollars in public funds to humiliate Democratic leaders. Democrats, meanwhile, hammered for their key claim that Trump will make health care more expensive for millions. Oh, see, they're just trying to save health care. There were rumblings behind the scenes discussions to end the shutdown in the Senate from key players in the ever diminishing political center, and some early signs of disquiet emerged among some important Republicans over Trump's hardball tactics. Okay. Republicans, don't acquiesce to this. You're the party in power. Let the Democrats acquiesce. It's insane. The problem is, do you think Democrats care about being liked? Because they already get all the adoration. Republicans got to stop caring about being liked by the media in particular. They continue still. This is a tough crisis to call, partly because America has a president who has had a history of metaphorically blowing everything up 1 minute, then suddenly seeking a deal that can undermine the painstakingly laid plans of his own side. And as always with Trump, conventional political calculations seem muddled. So that's the CNN take. So then I went and looked at MSNBC headlines. Now this is fascinating because by the way, let's look at the CNN headlines. They have news, neither party is blinking. That's about the shutdown. And then they have some shutdown headlines here. Government shutdown spurs confusion and concern with no funding deal in sight. Here's what affected by the government shutdown. How GOP plans to pressure Dems to shut down standoff. Okay, so standard fare. They, they're not editorializing the headlines. And then some other news around the other side. Okay, now let's look at MSNBC's headlines. This is MSNBC. Trump administration already using the shutdown to get revenge. As the White House targets blue states, Democratic senator condemns mafioso tactics. Lawsuit targets White House use of public resources to put shutdown propaganda. And then the surrounding headlines, Pete Hegseth insulted military leaders. Now they have a chance to reject his message. Top oversight Democrat says Trump's partisan shutdown emails break the law. ICE agent injured a journalist at New York City courthouse, adding to a disturbing trend. J.D. Vance and Stephen Miller keep getting this simple fact about fascists wrong. And as I scroll through their headlines, they're all not just news, they're all negative headlines about Republicans. Almost every single one. NYPD condemns Trump's DHS for playing politics with counterterrorism funds. It's just nonstop. Every fucking headline. Elizabeth, the only one that isn't is that 2 dead suspect killed Manchester synagogue attack on Yom Kippur, which happened in Manchester, England. That's all we're looking for, Senator Warren, on what Dems want from GOP as shutdown continues. It's fascinating. Just watch those go. All right, real quick. I'm gonna come back to this because Gunfox dropped a Hamilton in the tip jar. We're gonna just let's see what this one is. Oh, this is interesting. What? This is NASA Watch. Thank you, Gunfox. Senator Cruz and Cornyn want to chop up Space Shuttle Discovery. Keith's note. I just got an update from Keep the Shuttle. MB wants NASA and the Smithsonian to figure out how to cut Space Shuttle Discovery apart into pieces to move it. As you will recall, that option was ruled out when Space Shuttle Endeavour was moved to Los Angeles on the now defunct 747 carrier and then moved through the street where utilities were moved and trees were cut down. Every effort was taken to preserve the integrity of the historic spaceship. Now Texas Senators Ted Cruz and John Cornyn are only interested in snagging a tourist attraction, not a precious historic relic that deserves to be preserved, and certainly not chopped up like a leftover exhibit from a state fair and tossed on a flatbed. Okay, here it is. So that's the note. The Keep the Shuttle team is disappointed to report that the White House Office of Management and Budget has asked the Smithsonian and NASA to explore cutting up the Space Shuttle Discovery to enable moving the shuttle to Houston. This development is unprecedented and alarming. NASA did not design the shuttle orbiters to be disassembled, and complicating factors include the shuttle's aluminum frame, 24,000 delicate ceramic tiles that coat the shuttle's underside, the black part, and the 2,000 thermal insulation fabric blankets that coat the rest of the shuttle, the white part. Disassembling Discovery would cause significant and irreparable damages to these and other portions of the shuttle. Discovery also holds particular value as the shuttle was specially preserved to serve as a future reference for researchers. To quote Dennis Jenkins, who is the director of NASA's program of Retire the Shuttle Fleet, quote, "We spent a lot of time and money to preserve Discovery in as near to flight condition as we could to put it in the national collection so that any future engineer or historian has to refer a reference vehicle to look at, measure, or do whatever they need. The process that the White House is now asking the Smithsonian and NASA to explore would permanently ruin this work and significantly hamper the ability of future generations to discover and learn from Discovery." Okay, I'm kind of confused. Do they not have any of the research and schematics and drawings and blueprints for the shuttle to study from that? Maybe I'm confused. Anyone? Gunfox, are you still here? The letter also references that NASA and the Smithsonian are in agreement that the cost to move Discovery to Houston would at minimum be between $120 million and $150 million, exclusive of the cost of building a new exhibit in Houston. This number significantly exceeds the $85 billion authorized for the relocation and a new exhibit by the OBBBA, and indicates that additional taxpayer funding will be necessary. Are you sure about that? You don't think that there would be private donors that would be interested in sponsoring the removal of it? Is it just me, or is this just people pissed off that Cornyn and Cruz would like the space shuttle to go home to Houston? I'm not sure about this. Justin Wright says the complete schematics have been publicly available since the first shuttle was built. That's how the Soviets made theirs. Oh, well, see, there you go. Hey, Marty, wasn't there more than one space shuttle? Yeah, there were. I don't know what they've done with all the other ones. One of them, we know what happened to one of them, and we can't recover that. But I'm so confused. Better come with free museum entrance. Yeah, right. This is a fight between the Smithsonian and the two senators who want to have it go back to Houston, and it just seems really odd to me that that's their the what do they call it, the keep the shuttle team. I don't know. Mike Savage, a physical example like the shuttle means that when the people who built it are gone, others can copy the systems later. Voyager had problems, and it took ages to fix it because no one knew the tech. Okay. Marty is confused. Marty is easily confused. Marty will never, ever be gender confused. Yes, that's 100% true, Marty Stanhope. When I don't know something, I don't know it. I'm not going to pretend I do. I'm not seeing the problem here. Yes, they want the integrity of the ship. It's not like they're going to fly it again. Decommissioned and sold to China. No. So anyway, thank you, Gunfox, for that confusing article. That'll be in the links today. Back to some of the stories, though. Let's talk about some of the... I didn't show you the Fox News front page. Fox News is actually looking at some other things in their headlines. They're not talking about the shutdown as much, although it is on the front page. So their top headline: professors at Ivy League school applauded action plan involving potential violence. A fascist moment. We might have to read that one. I'll just open it for the hell of it. But then you get down to the shutdown stuff. Trump eyes cuts to Democrat agencies he views as political scams. Pelosi snaps at reporter over AOC shutdown question. Such a ridiculous thing. Speaker Johnson fact checks Democrats claim GOP is lying about illegals and Medicaid. So that's the big fight that the Republicans want to have, because they're saying that the reason that the Democrats are opposing the shutdown or opposing the continuing resolution is due to they want to be able to fund health care for illegal aliens. And the Democrats deny it vociferously, and a lot of the media outlets are saying, oh, well, the Democrats are right. They can't be on Medicaid. Yeah, as if the rules apply in these situations every time. So anyway, let's see. I do want to see what Nancy Pelosi did. Let's see what her snap, though. Let's see what the snap article is about. Snap's reporter being asked whether the GOP should negotiate shutdown with AOC. Oh, he's probably, let me see. Let's just watch this.
Yeah, there's 20 lawmakers who are meeting informally, trying to maybe circumvent their leadership to come up with ideas. But I don't see I think Democrats have totally overplayed their hand.
Well, they need 60 votes, and they have
wait.
55, so they need to get those 5 more. So they're, because Rand Paul was the only one on the Republican Party that didn't vote for it, so they need 5 more Democrats to come over.
Okay.
You have those 3 already.
Let's see here.
I don't know about y'all, but one thing that frustrates me about this process is
I
want to
see the
hold on. Policy prescription.
If you're going to say this is about the question, I want to see the question. Let me see if I can skip forward a little bit.
And debate the merits. But when you say, hey,
and fund our come to my office.
Go to her office.
Here we go.
Well, if that's the case, there's some of the Democrats,
Here
the
we
Republicans, and AOC was approached because she was saying, well, if Republicans have a problem with this, they can come to my office. They can sit down and talk to me. Listen to this.
I saw some Republican members of Congress saying, oh, well, if we have this shutdown, it's because of AOC. Well, if that's the case, my office is open and you are free to walk in and negotiate with me directly.
Now, the reason they're saying it's because of AOC is because some are saying that Chuck Schumer is holding on this because he knows that he's about to get a challenge, a Senate challenge from AOC. So they're saying they're blaming, some are blaming AOC because she's wagging the smarmy prick from New York's dog. That didn't sound right. I think you know what I meant, though. Anyway, so let's see how this continues.
There was a thought from the Republicans that AOC is directing this, and she said that senators are welcome to go to her office directly. Is she?
Why are you saying such a ridiculous thing? Why are you saying? Yeah, no.
She's very upset about that.
She is not directing this. She's wonderful. She's a real team player and the rest of that. You started by saying Republicans saying that she's directing this. She is not. Hakeem Jeffries is.
Then why'd she?
This takes a lot of experience, a lot of unity.
The Turnip is directing
in
this.
terms of the point of view, and that's what this is. She's an articulate.
The Turnip is not doing anything. This has nothing to do with the Turnip. The Turnip has no power in this. The House Republicans overwhelmingly voted for the resolution. This is all on Chuck, the smarmy prick from New York, Schumer. Okay? No, Nancy Pelosi does not like her.
Spokesperson for her point of view.
For her point of view.
She doesn't like
Okay, so there you go. And then the Fox News people laugh at her, which I don't care. All right. And then in CNBC, again, this is the page here that says government shutdown live updates. Stalemate to at least the last 3 days. Their sub-headlines as I look through this. NASA keeping workers on the job for Artemis mission with SpaceX and Blue Origin. Prolonged shutdown may impact Social Security. COLA announcement, cost of living increases announcement. Shutdown likely to last until at least Friday as stalemate persists. So, they think it'll last. This will happen for a week, which is usually. Look, there's a stress point at some point where all the politicians start getting nervous. But it's going to be interesting because this is one of those times where the clear cause of the shutdown is the United States Senate. And that would be because of Chuck Schumer. Other headlines, Democrats have no answer for why they voted to shut the government down. This is another, now granted, this is the Daily Caller, so this is right-wing media, but let's look at this video.
Excuse me, Congressman, why'd you vote to shut down the government? No comment? Excuse me, Congressman, why'd you vote to shut down the government?
Because I think it's important to have health care.
Congressman, why'd you vote to shut down the government? Oh, you didn't, Congressman? You're voting no on the roll call. Congressman, why'd you vote to shut down the government? No comment, Congressman? Congressman, why'd you vote to shut down the government? Congressman?
Well, look.
No comment, Congressman?
Now, when I see it, okay, I get it. Some guy in the hallway asking them questions like that, they're not likely to get an answer, but it would be interesting to see if one of them would stop and actually try to explain it. Breitbart, 154,000 bureaucrats finally exit federal payroll this week. 154,000 bureaucrats who accepted Donald Trump's buyouts will all be removed from the federal payroll this week. This represents the largest one-year exodus of federal workers in 80 years, reports Reuters. Oh, they say the far left Reuters. I wouldn't say Reuters is far left, although many of their reporters are. They're definitely left. The official resignations began on Tuesday for workers who opted into deferred exit program that kept them on the payroll through September. The buyouts are a cornerstone of President Donald Trump's push to shrink federal workforce, combining financial incentives with threats of dismissal for those who decline the offers. So we already knew this was going to happen as far as these are the buyouts. These are the ones who opted to leave on their own accord at the end of September. So I know I was watching, I saw one lady on, I don't know, it was TikTok or Reels or whatever. She's like, oh, they're going to do this to big fuck you to Trump. The 100,000 plus employees are going to leave the job on the first as a big fuck you to Trump. No, they're doing it because Trump offered them the buyout and offered them to leave. So that's dumb. Hello, Richard Head. What up, Dick? Nice to have you here. And then Daily Wire, five brutal consequences if Democrats continue government shutdown. So let's look at this. Troops protecting America will go without pay. Law enforcement operations could stifle the work of certain federal law enforcement task forces cracking down on violent crime across the country. Veterans will lose assistance. Military veterans will also lose access to key Department of Veteran Affairs assistance programs, according to the American Legion. Travel, while airports will continue to operate across the country, there could be delays as thousands of Federal Aviation Administration employees are expected to be furloughed. Additionally, air traffic controllers and TSA employees will be working without pay throughout the shutdown. Under President Trump's leadership, the Department of Transportation has hired 20% more air traffic controllers than the previous administration did in the same time period. And some of them will be going out with pay. So now it's interesting that the Daily Wire puts out an article like this on healthcare programs expire, nutrition programs language. So this is interesting because I don't know if they'd be writing this article if the shutdown was the Republicans' fault. But since it's the Democrats' fault, they can tell you the doomsday items. And again, this guy is the cause of the entire boondoggle. All right. I have a few more tabs open, just things that are trending. Medicaid is trending because of this. Here's one. Here's a Scott Jennings clip. It's too long. It's 3 minutes long. He says, for years, Democrats have unapologetically argued for putting illegal aliens on Medicaid. Several Democratic governors have already done it. Why lie about it now? The American people aren't fooled. I don't give an inch on CNN in my latest debate. This is interesting because, the
healthcare issue.
There's all the media people, like Caitlin Collins here, when they're asking these questions, they will tell you if you mention that there are illegal aliens on government healthcare, they will say, no, they're not. It's illegal to do that, blah, 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 blah. But we already know. Lindsay, what's up? It's been a long time. Nice to have you here, Lindsay. What up, Lindsay? As we well know, for example, in California, their whatever CalCare, whatever they call it, was having illegal aliens on their Medicare. Basically, it's a Medicare program or funded by Medicare. And so when the Trump administrators were cutting it back, that's when California said, well, we got to cut it back now too. It's like you say they aren't on it, but some states, they use the Medicare funds for that. And that's why they were putting these rules in place. I'm going to watch the whole 3 minutes here.
Our political power players, Scott Jennings and Karen Finney, are here. Well, the president did try to bring them into the room the other day, and they wouldn't budge. I mean, look, the facts here are pretty simple. The Republican Party has put on the floor and voted for a clean, continuing resolution, no changes. These are Biden budget numbers, by the way.
Yep.
And numbers that Democrats have voted for 13 times. Nothing up our sleeves here, Caitlin. They're
no new proposals, nothing.
Long enough to negotiate things like
I don't know why that
issue,
chick's
which you were
shaking her
just
head.
debating, which I actually think maybe Republicans will wind up dealing on that, but they're not going to do it under duress, and they're not going to do it under threat of rolling back all the Medicaid reforms that were done this summer. So I think President Trump tried to bring the Democrats in, and at the end of the day, I think the American people know here they're looking at two parties. One's trying to do a bunch of funny business, one's trying to keep the doors open, And right now, I don't think the funny business side is winning in the eyes of the American people.
Well, I just want to correct something. You know, Scott, you know how much I respect you, but let's be honest here.
I don't need to be corrected, and I don't need to be told I'm dishonest, Karen. But by all means, go ahead. We're stunned. I'll just be honest.
I want to hear what she had to
stunned.
say.
The Democratic constituencies are principally immigration population.
But it is Scott This is Scott Jennings' X account he posted. So he's posted what he said and not what the other lady said. Anyway, they're going to tell him over and over, oh, this is not true. Nope. They'll use the technical term by saying, no, illegal aliens cannot be on Medicaid. Well, yeah, that's it. It's a technicality because in some states, Medicaid funds the state-run programs. And so that Medicaid money goes into the state-run programs, and the state-run programs do what they want to do. So it's kind of crazy. Government shutdown and the proposal to permanently shut down these agencies. It's going to be a great birthday. Is it your birthday, Lindsay? Wait, is it your birthday? Happy birthday if it is. Just checking. Okay. Democrats try to run away from the ridiculous $1.5 trillion big gun government spending bill. Now that the Americans are learning what's in it, some Democrats now claim they don't want illegal immigration on Medicaid, but their previous votes and the actual language of their current bill say otherwise. Interesting. Oh, it's tomorrow. Well, happy early birthday, Lindsay. Nice to have you here, by the way. It's been a while. Nice to see you. I've seen you over on Monkey's channel every once in a while, though, so I know you're still around. So anyway, as we go through other things trending because of this, healthcare is trending because that seems to be the Democrats' big contention. But again, the continuing resolution is to fund everything as it's being funded now, and they're going to negotiate all that stuff in all those appropriations bills. And the Democrats are saying, no, we want these permanent changes in the continuing resolution, or we're not going to vote for this. Obamacare is trending. Again, some of it's over the subsidies. And then Democrats and Republicans are trending. And as I scroll up here, Ted Cruz posted this. The 44 Senate Democrats who voted for Schumer's shutdown should know that the sombrero posting will continue until they reopen our government. Hey, Macarena. I hope this isn't. And then you can remember. Yeah, we're not going to play it because it says, hey, Macarena. And then the stupid sombrero memes. So that's silly. That's some silly stuff there. And the Senate's trending also. What else here? Republicans are trending. All these things are trending because of the shutdown. And apparently Donald Trump has slammed Obamacare, floats bipartisan fixes, or a new healthcare system. President Donald Trump criticized the Affordable Care Act as not a good thing. Not a good thing. It's not a good thing. During the September 30th White House press event, proposing collaboration with Democrats to improve it or develop a cheaper, more effective alternative. The ACA, enacted in 2010, has expanded coverage to over 50 million Americans. This is, again, it's Grok who aggregates what everyone's saying about it, and reduced the uninsured rate to 7.7% and achieved a record 21.3 million enrollments in 2025 amid ongoing premium concerns. The premiums suck, and the co-pays are terrible. It's crazy. Amid ongoing premium concerns, Trump's remarks occur as Republicans control Congress and face disputes over the Affordable Care Act subsidies. So Donald Trump made some comments about that. So, all right. Unfortunately, my time is up. But I do have a few other articles open, plus the aggregators here. But, it's just that time of day. I wish I had more time, but I don't. I have to be done at this time each day. So what I'm going to do is, as always, drop these links in the chat and to all the articles that we've done so far, plus everything else. Thanks to, I didn't thank you all for the people doing the notifications for the show. Thanks. Oh no, I just closed World Farm Animal Day. I'm sorry. Well, that one's not going to be on there. So anyway, here come the links as I do this. Click. There we go. Here are all today's links. there you go. They'll be in the description also. I hope you all have a wonderful day. By the way, as you know, tomorrow is Free for All Friday. And what do we do every Friday for Free for All Friday? Well, we do a Friday Q&A where you can ask me anything. And I do mean anything that, you know, I'll try my best to answer it, and I'll try my best to answer all the questions. As long as it's not overloaded. I'll just start that earlier tomorrow. How about that? Anyway, y'all have a wonderful day. Lindsay, happy birthday. If I don't catch you tomorrow. And this I'll be back same time as usual, around between 10 and 10:30 Eastern time. So you all have a wonderful day. I gotta go. My name is PDawgKnight, and I am out of here. Bye-bye. Have a great day. Hey, this is PDawgKnight, and thank you for watching today on the PDawgKnight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cashapp, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm PDawgKnight, and I'm out of here.